The most infernal psychic experiences do not always unfold in the theater of psychological warfare during campaigns. Instead, they manifest themselves in the very fabric of our own dreams, a realm where terrors are far worse than nightmares, where we awaken screaming. Sleep paralysis is a temporary but very frightening feeling of being unable to move or speak as you transition between wakefulness and sleep. The condition is categorized as a parasomnia, alongside issues such as sleep terrors and sleepwalking. A sleep paralysis episode can begin with you steering in bed, not quite fully awake. You may be able to see the edges of your mattress, your closet, a lamp, and the windows. But there's also an intense fear growing inside you. You may hear voices whispering, see shadows moving just beyond the bed, or feel that something or someone is holding you down and restricting your breathing. When you try to turn your head or sit up, you realize you're unable to move. And if you try to call out for help, you can't open your mouth or find your voice. Our real story delves into the life of a 27-year-old man who goes by the name of Nathan. Thought he's adamant about concealing his true identity. He's been plagued by sleep paralysis for nearly a decade, an affliction that has subjected him to countless humiliations as he struggled to convey his experience to others. Nathan vividly recalls his first encounter with sleep paralysis, a nightmarish ordeal that left him unable to explain what had happened. Despite feeling awake, he found himself paralyzed, fully aware of his surroundings, but powerless to move or speak. Nathan's life has become a battleground, a relentless struggle against the grip of sleep paralysis. Instead of succumbing to fear, he has chosen to confront his torment head-on, devoting himself to unrevealing the mysteries surrounding this enigmatic condition. His quest for answers had led him down a labyrinthine path, delving into ancient texts, consulting experts, and delving into the depths of scientific research. Yet, for every revelation he uncovers, a dozen more questions emerge, leaving him trapped in a cycle of uncertainty and despair. He describes the suffocating sense of dread that washes over him as he finds himself trapped in the darkness of his own mind, struggling to break free from its sinister embrace. The shadows that dance on the edges of his vision, the whispers that echo in the depths of his consciousness, these are the harbingers of his nightly torment. But no experience compares to that one night, the most terrifying of all he had experienced. In the fall of 2019, Nathan prepares to go to bed. As he closes his eyes and plunges into the memory, the darkness engulfs him once more, suffocating him in its icy embrace. Yet, this time, there is something different, something far more sinister lurking in the shadows. A presence, a malevolent, otherworldly presence, loom over him, its form twisted and indistinct. Nathan's heart races as he struggles to breathe, to move, to escape the clutches of this unseen terror. The figure draws closer, its eyes burning with an intensity that sends shivers down his spine. And Nathan finds himself consumed by a primal fear unlike anything he has ever known. This is his nightmare.
The darkness enveloped the room as I lay on the bed, unable to move, trapped in sleep paralysis. It was a familiar sensation, but this time something was different. A sinister presence loomed over me, a shadow that seemed to slither along the walls, lurking in the gloom. My breath became shallow as I struggled to break free from this living nightmare. I tried to move, to scream, but my body was immobile, as if chained by invisible forces. Then, I began to hear whispers. Guttural voices that filled the room with an aura of malevolence. Suddenly, a faint light illuminated the corner of the room. I gaped as I saw an angelic figure, a woman with long blonde hair radiating a celestial calm. Her presence seemed to defy the darkness around her, like a beacon of hope amidst despair. "Please, climb this ladder." Her voice resonated in my mind, her tone melodic and serene. My eyes fixated on the ladder materializing before me, glowing with an ethereal light. My heart pounded, flooded with a mixture of fear and fascination. However, just as I was about to comply, a dark shadow materialized beside me. I felt its malevolent presence enveloping me, like icy tentacles seeking to drag me into the darkness. Instinctively, I began to grunt, struggling against the influence of this dark entity. My bedroom became a stage for supernatural intrusions, with the door opening of its own volition, granting entry to shadowy figures that prowled in the darkness. The line between nightmare and reality blurred. The entity materialized as a mischievous creature that was restricting my breath, unleashing an otherworldly whispery language that sent shivers down the spine. The horror escalated when, waking from the clutches of paralysis, I saw the entity crouched in the corner of the ceiling, its unsettling smile belying its sinister intent. After that, the woman in white disappeared, and the entity approached me from under the bed, its freakish language resonating before a serpent-like tongue invaded the ear with a slithering, nightmarish sound. With a desperate urgency, I attempted to break free from the impending nightmare, silent screams escaping my lips as I sought to awaken. Limbs resisted movement. The bed clung like quicksand, refusing to release me. As I started to be able to move, I found myself gasping, drenched in sweat, while the dawn light filtered through the half-closed curtains. Still trembling, I clung to reality, trying to make sense of what I had just experienced. What were those figures that dwelled on the fringes of consciousness, between dream and wakefulness? Were they mere projections of my troubled mind or entities beyond our comprehension? My thoughts were lost in a whirlwind of speculation as I confronted the uncertainty of the unknown. Sleep paralysis had left its mark once again, reminding me of the fragile line that separates reality from fantasy, dream from wakefulness. And as the sun rose on the horizon, I plunged into a sea of questions, eager to unravel the mysteries lurking in the shadows of the night.
With his heart still pounding, Nathan concludes his tale with renewed determination. Though each night seems more perilous than the last, he will not give up. He will continue his quest for answers, exploring every clue, every theory, in search of a solution that will free him from his nightmares. For Nathan, the truth is only hope of finding peace in a world of darkness and terror. Thank you for joining me on this harrowing exploration into the depths of the human psyche. If you found this story compelling, I invite you to subscribe to our channel, share it with friends and family, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future releases. Your support means the world, and it's what allows me to continue bringing you stories like these. I thank you for your time and your interest. Until next time, have a good night.